Hello, in this video, we continue with the Rich Dad, Poor Dad story, the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki, and this is video number 8. Join me. Hello, welcome to Take a Step to a Better You. On this channel, I share what I know and what I continue to learn. If you are new, my name is Sherifa Nakalema. I'm a business owner here in Virginia, USA. And on this channel, I talk about business tips, YouTube tips, earning money online tips, specifically affiliate marketing tips, and also motivation. And recently, I also, under motivation is what I would call it, I added reviewing books. And now I'm doing Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I'll continue to do other books. If any of that sounds interesting, and if you care about making our lives better, because that's what this is all about, I call this channel Take a Step to a Better You. That's my message. Consider subscribing and sharing my videos and watching all the many videos I have already. I think you'll find something good. Please subscribe, click on the bell also after subscribing, because that's the only time it's going to make a difference, or you're going to forget about me. That way you'll be notified when I have a new video or whatever I'm doing. And I'll give you my schedule at the end of this short video. I'll give you my schedule at the beginning, at the end. Everyone following me with this book series, they all know what I do. But if you are new, please, at the end, let me share what I do here. For those of you who have been following along with me or watching, even before I started the books, appreciate you very much. Thank you for your time here. And hopefully you're taking out something, and hopefully you're subscribed and the bell is up. And please, always, the liking is I have more comments than likes. I'm assuming if you leave a good comment, you like the video, please always click on the like. The like helps with the YouTube algorithm. You see it as a simple thing you do to like, but actually it means you're saying yes to the video. So please continue to say yes to the video. Assuming you want to say yes to the video, you can get down to the video. Just communicate. That's how I know if you like my videos or not. Now, also at the end, I'm going to share how you get an audio version of this book or any other books. If you want audios free for 1 month. We are continuing with this story. And the lesson, we are still on lesson 1. By the way, this is video number 8. And video 1 to 7 are down in a playlist. I call it Lessons from Robert Kiyosaki. I also pin a comment on the current video. And that comment has a link. So that link is the first comment on top of the comments. It's my comment. When you click on it, it takes you to all the 7 videos. They're all, one will play 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. So if you missed the other ones, you can go do that. But this one is also, hopefully you find some value. Then you can go to the other ones later. And then after that, continue to come. Continue to come. Make sure you have notifications on. The lesson we're doing, we are on, is from chapter 1 and lesson 1. Remember, the book has 6 lessons. That's why this is going to take us a while. Hopefully you don't mind. And lesson 1, we started on it. We are continuing. The lesson is, the rich don't work for money. And before I even start, I always remind, and also the intention is to inform the person who is new. This is your first video. We need to know who Robert is. Robert is a self-made millionaire, entrepreneur, educator, and inventor with the mission, the reason he does what he does, the reason he wrote this book, to elevate the financial well-being of humanity, starting with one life and one person at a time. And I keep saying that person could be you, that person could be me, could be anyone. Already many people have benefited from just this book. Over 40 million copies sold. And of course, those people also go share the message. Like me, when I read the book a long time ago, anyone I know, I share. I share what I got out. So it's 40 million copies, but they impact many, many, many lives. And hopefully it's going to impact you. And then Rich Dad and Poor Dad are 2 men. The Poor Dad is his real dad. Robert is real dad. And he was a very intelligent man. With a high education. In fact, his college and everything was paid for scholarships. He finished 4 years in less than, like a 4-year degree in less than 2 years. So he was really, really brilliant. And he had a PhD, and he was a superintendent of education. The whole thing is to show you that just because you had the high education and the high income doesn't mean you end up rich. It means for this situation and for many situations, you may end up actually being broke, like what happened to this one. The rich dad is actually a friend is Robert's friend is dad. Robert's friend Mike, his dad. And this one was actually the opposite. He didn't stay in school long. He left at age 13, 8th grade, but he became one of the wealthiest men in Hawaii. The reason we're following this story, we're trying to see what the two did, what they did right, what they did wrong, so we can take out our lessons. That's why I call it Lessons from Robert Kiyosaki. He got the lesson he's sharing with us. He's saying there are 6 lessons, main lessons. We have lesson 1, the rich don't work for money. We ended the last video 7 where with Robert, they had tried their project to make money because the poor dad had told the son, Robert, to make money. And then they came up with this idea to make money, but real money. So, but then where we ended the other story, Robert's dad had told them after he saw that they were making real nickels, that what they were doing was actually, it's called counterfeiting and it's illegal. So they were very, very sad. And Robert had said to Mike that I guess Jimmy and his friends are right. We are poor. What happened next? This time I'm going to read more in the book than here because it's conversations. When it's conversations, I like to read them. So when their dad was leaving, actually, remember he had come with his friend and he was leaving, but he had this statement when he said, I guess they are right, or I guess we are poor. So Robert's father, remember Robert's father is the poor dad. He had that statement and he said, boys, you are only poor. You remember our lessons at the beginning, we learned from these things. Boys, you are only poor if you give up. The most important thing is that you did something. Most people only talk and dream of getting rich. You've done something. I'm very proud of you. I'm very proud of the two of you. I'll say it again. Keep going. Don't quit. And so now Robert is asking his dad, but I'm skipping a few things. I go to what I feel is you need to hear because there is statements I'm skipping. So, but then Robert is asking his dad, so how come you are not rich, Dad? And poor dad is responding. But remember, he's not really poor. He's a middle class. He earns good money. And he said, okay, because I chose, now the rich, Robert's dad is the one responding why his son, to the question, how come you are not rich, Dad? Because I chose to be a school teacher. School teachers really don't think about being rich. We just like to teach. I wish I could help you, but you really don't know how to make money. So Mike and I, this is Robert saying, Mike and I turned and continued our cleanup. Remember they were cleaning up after the project failed? They are producing money. So poor dad said, I know. If you boys want to learn how to be rich, don't ask me. Talk to your dad. He was pointing to Mike. Talk to your dad, Mike. And Mike responded with a crunchy face. My dad? Yeah, your dad. And then I'm skipping. So then Robert said, my dad? Then how come we don't have a nice car and a nice house like the rich kids at school? So he was surprised. And remember, before we talked about why they think they are poor, because the other kids at school have all the nice things. So they think they are poor. To be considered rich, you have to have the nice car and all nice house, all that stuff. So now Robert's dad, remember these messages now are coming from Robert's dad, the one we call poor dad in the book, or the one Robert calls rich poor dad, but he's actually giving good advice too. So see what he says here. A nice car and a nice house don't necessarily mean you are rich. That's what Dad's speaking. Or or that you know how to make money. Jimmy's dad, remember Jimmy is a friend at school, considered one of the rich kids, or rich coming from the rich family. So he's saying Jimmy's dad works for the sugar plantation. He's not much different from me. He works for a company and I work for the government. The company buys the car for him. The sugar company is in financial trouble and Jimmy's dad may soon have nothing. Your dad is different. Now he's referring to Mike's dad, who later becomes the rich dad. Your dad is different, Mike. He seems to be building an empire. I suspect in a few years, he'll be a very rich man. Okay, so with that, when they had that, the boys, they got excited again. I'm stopping the reading of the book. I'm coming to my notes. When I come to notes, it means I got them earlier. Now they got excited after hearing that they could get something from the rich dad to the now rich dad. So what happened next? The boys made plans for how and when to talk to Mike's dad. The problem, he worked long hours, sometimes coming home late. He owned warehouses, a construction company, a chain of stores, and 3 restaurants. That's the end of my video, but I have to say a few things about what I just read. And please, do me a huge favor. I know you leave comments and I appreciate them, but please, say something, let's call them takeaway from now on. Not just it's a good video. What's your takeaway? You as a person. What did you learn from what's happening here? Please put a comment that today, this is my takeaway from this video. That way we know we are getting something out of this book, of what I'm doing here. Okay, my takeaways. Number 1, which is common, everyone says it. You go to Instagram, people posting things. Keep going, don't quit. We say it, but actually we don't do it. I'm interacting with so many people. I see how people quit really fast. But you see, if you're an entrepreneur, business owner, those kind of people, they don't quit. They start things, they fail, they start again, they fail until they call it, they say, fail forward. Have you heard of that, fail forward? Or like Les Brown says, make sure you face up so you can come back up. Failing is part of the journey. The lesson is failing is going to be part of success. You fail, you keep going. Okay. And then the other lesson is a nice car and a nice house don't necessarily mean you are rich or that you know how to make money. Especially here where I am. I'm in Virginia, USA, and USA is known for loans and big loans. So when you see someone, it's very rare to find people. It's maybe older people who bought their homes a little bit early. Like, for example, it's common here to buy things on loans or mortgages. So if you are lucky, you get out of school, you start early, you buy a car, a house in your 20s, the loans tend to be 30 years. So if you bought your car, your house, I keep calling car, house, I'm on the house, maybe you are 25 years, maybe by 55, if you didn't do anything, because there is refinancing, there are so many things people do with their homes. If you got out a loan at 25, by 55, you could have a house that paid off. That's very common. Or you could refinance, but some refinance and then get out some money. So many things happen. But if you are steadily paying, or even paying a little bit more than the monthly, you could do it, even in 20 years. But it's rare to find homes that, like a big percentage of homes have loans on them. So just because you are coming out of a big home doesn't necessarily mean you're a rich person. In fact, you have many, many problems because you have to pay the mortgage, you have to pay the insurance that goes with the house, all the repairs, all the stuff that goes into, and for example, you could have a house, maybe you have to replace the roof every maybe 20 years, you have to change, like big things break down and have to fix them. So you always, that's why one of the lessons you see in this book, or Robert's message, is that a home is not an asset. So just because someone is coming out of a big home, or just because someone is driving a new car. Brand new cars tend to be on loans. Very few people buy a brand new car because the cheapest brand new car could be like $20,000. If you're not in USA, convert that in dollars, see your money locally. Because 20,000 is on the lower end. Those are the small cars. But there are cars, I see trucks, 60,000, 70,000, even more. And then, of course, the rich people drive high-end cars. So that's a lot of money. And those are loans, huge loans. You see someone driving a shiny car, you think they're rich, but actually they're not. Because if you have to pay a car like every month, on the lower end, by the way, maybe $700 a month, and then you have to pay insurance and everything that comes with that, taxes, the property taxes, they call them the personal taxes that go with owning a property, like on a house. I didn't even mention. You have to pay taxes, property taxes, and then you have to pay on the car too. And then the bigger it is, the more value it has, the more taxes you pay. I'm now talking about Virginia, where I am. You could be watching me. Maybe you don't have those in your state, but in Virginia, that's the reality. So someone who has to pay for the car and the house and all that, and they're an employee somewhere. You hear in America, people make a lot of money. But okay, if you made $10,000 a month, those are people making good money, as employees. And you have to pay for this house and all those things I just listed. And you have children going to college. You have all those things that to do, and you want to have some fun and travel. Do you have any money left? That's why you see that people end up with credit card debt, because they end up swiping cards and then creating more problems. So the point is, just driving a nice car, like the young boys thought, and going on vacation. Remember, they left them, they didn't take them because they're poor. All that, those are huge expenses, and doesn't necessarily mean they are rich people. These are all, they're spending money they don't even have. Okay, the other thing is the point, the takeaway. For me, you can put your own takeaway, please, in the comments. Jimmy's dad works for a company. Jimmy, remember, is supposed to be from the rich family. But according to what Robert's dad just said, he works for a company, and the company about which is likely to go out of business. And he's driving the company's car. So they don't even know. They see him driving a car. They don't know. Now, what happens if the company closes, then they take their car, and then now you are back on your feet? So it's all flashy, but until you know someone's real situation, you don't know who is rich and who is not. And that's a lesson. The car belongs to the company. It's not his car, and the company could close anytime. Another point, takeaway for me, is that Mike's dad, the one who later becomes the rich dad, the son could not even see it. Like, could say, how come he's not doing this? How come he's not doing that? But you see what's going on with him. He owns warehouses. He owns a construction company. He owns a chain of stores, and he owns 3 restaurants. So he's building wealth. He's focused on that. You don't see him flashing anything, but he knows what he's doing. Maybe other people may say, at that level, he shouldn't be. You see that he's driving an old truck. He's going to come later. Maybe he should be having some fun with it, because he wasn't really poor. The money was coming, only he wasn't like that kind. So there you may disagree, you may say, enjoy it a little bit, because I think he focused more on making it. That's my opinion. But he was already building things. The other point from that is that rich people rarely have money from one source. They have multiple sources of income, which is my message in my videos all the time. Have different ways. If there's something to learn from this lockdown that we had, people with multiple sources of income are the only ones who just continue. You have something online, you have something offline, you have something passive, some like different kinds of income. So your income is affected, but you can't really go back to zero because you have just one income. That's my other takeaway. So what's yours? Please leave a comment. That's the end of this video. We'll continue to see what happened with those boys in the next video, which will be video number 9. And for those who are new, please, my schedule here is daily. I review these books every 9. It's 1 p.m. USA Eastern Time. Check it locally. Every single day I'm here. And then on Friday, I skip the books. I do a live. Come join us live, chat. We just chat. Maybe later I'll make it into a real YouTube live where I save the video. But right now we just chat, say hello, and that's it. And ask me anything. And then another schedule I have is 12:30 p.m. Eastern on Thursdays and Sundays. That's why on Sunday you'll find a motivational video. That's where you'll find YouTube tips, business tips on Thursdays. That's 30 minutes before. So if you sign up, you have notifications. Everything will be showing up in your feed, what I'm doing. So please do that. And then for those who want to get into the audio listening, I have a link below taking you to Amazon Audible. But like I mentioned in the previous video, this is a premium plus book. It's not included in the catalog. They're offering you for free for 1 month. If you want still free for 1 month, you have to upgrade and sign up for what they call a premium plus. Make sure it's showing 1 credit. When it says 1 credit for 1 month, that means you can get this book, all the other premium books. You know, this is a very unique book. So you sign up for free, but make sure you're signing up for premium plus. That's why you'll find this book, and it has to show that you have a credit. That credit will allow you to have this book for 1 month free. But for me, my goal here is to create a community, assuming you want what you're doing here, because these are lessons. And if you didn't mind my talking, I could elaborate more. I could give you examples, but I don't want videos that are too long, because we would end up learning real lessons. Because I own a business, I own a company. It's not big, but I know the principles of owning a business and a company, and by USA standards, I know. So I can put in some 2 cents that could be helpful for you. And now I'm online. I also see affiliate marketing stuff. A lot you could do. So if you don't mind long videos, they could be over 20 minutes, 25, if I put in my own voice in what we are doing here. So you can put a comment if you don't mind me speaking, because other people, you know, I'm seeing a new audience now with the books, but the other people who watch the other videos, they tend not to want very long videos. If you don't mind, I can go and, like every lesson, I can elaborate, I can bring an example, which helps with the points that we are taking out. Okay. For me to get to sharing my account with the password, I'm saying I want at least 50 people, not too many, 50, committed to listening to these books and following me what I'm doing. Then when I see that you are 50, invite others, and you have 50 serious people, I'll share my password. And I'll get this book. I already have it on my audio. I'll just share it with you. But if I get 50 people consistently leaving comments on my videos, when you watch, please leave a comment. That's how I know that you are really interested. Leave a comment, show that you are passionate about this. I'm going to share my password when we have at least 50 people. That's my video. Leave a comment. Like I always end them. Take very good care of yourself. Take very good care of your family. Take very good care of your health. Take a step to better. You don't forget to like up, and then before leaving a comment. Bye.